There's more of us than you think, quicker than you can blink. Your most loyal will turn against you. It's in the water we drink, poison in the spring, but we'll take back all the power. I won't bend the knee. I don't care who's coming after me. I won't bend the knee. I don't care who's coming after me. I won't bend the knee. I won't bend the knee. You want to be used against. You beat your only line of defense. Intimidate, discriminate, but we will never reach. Remember your place, just in case you thought that we were afraid. It's in the water we drink, poison in the spring, but we'll take back all the power. I won't bend the knee. I don't care who's coming after me. I won't bend the knee. I don't care who's coming after me. I won't bend the knee. I won't bend the knee. Counter attack, no one has your back. Rising against, before there's nothing left. I won't bend the knee. I don't care who's coming after me. I won't bend the knee. I don't care who's coming after me. I won't bend the knee. I won't bend the knee. Lone wolf, I was running by myself. I don't want anybody else. I'm solo. Being on my own was easy. Thought that I was all I needed, but no. Then something changed. Something hit me in the face. I can't get you out my brain. And I know this sounds insane. Thinking about you every night, like an addict on a high. I can't come down. Cross my heart and hope to die. I swear to God I'll make you mine. I'd go through hell to have you. You are the fire I can't lose. You could burn my flames, I would take the pain. I'd go through hell to have you. I'd go through hell to have you. I'd lie for you, die for you. Take a bullet and I wouldn't think twice for you. Ain't nothing right now that I wouldn't do. You know it's true, you know it's true. Oh, I was so cynical, but now I never wanna let you go. My whole life changed. Something hit me in the face. I can't get you out my brain. And I know this sounds insane. I'd go through hell to have you. You are the fire I can't lose. You could burn my flames, I would take the pain. I'd go through hell to have you. I'd go through hell to have you. You are the fire I can't lose. You could burn my veins, I would take the pain. I'd go through hell to have you. I'd go through hell to have you. Cross my heart and hope to die. I swear to God I'll make you mine. I'd go through hell to have you. You are the fire I can't lose. You could burn
Yo, what up, guys? If I sound weird, I'm a little, I'm a little sick, and now you know how to use the goals as God intended to lie. Oh shit. Yeah. I do be dooby doo. You know. Do you mean it, or is this Melon Gate too, dude? I was in the gym today, learning how to do that, or how to crush a watermelon. It will happen. All right, it will happen. It will occur. It will not be Melon Gate. There will be a melon at some point. The reality is that it's just like cold outside, and I need to do it outdoors. You know, and I don't want to be getting melon on my penis in the cold, man. You know, I'll die actually. Um, but yeah, so let me tell you something. Let me tell you a little story. So I was, I had prepped for the new year. I'm like, I'm gonna do this when it gets into the new year. And on a whim, chat, my father says I'm buying new appliances. And he goes out without telling anybody, and he buys a new washer and dryer. Now, I don't know about you, but doing that is annoying, right? So that makes a lot of unnecessary labor for me, right? So I had to go out and like clean a bunch of shit up for this thing. So that was annoying, okay? So that's what I got stuck with. Why I didn't stream earlier in the week. Also, again, now I got like a little bit of a head cold. So I'm trying to fight that off. So, I'm trying my best. I don't want to stop working because, new year. But yeah, that was just really fucking annoying. It was really fucking annoying. But the goal is get the money up, so that way I can just go move out somewhere, so that way it's easier to work. But yeah, so my throat's a little dry, it's a little itchy. We're gonna hope that I'm not gonna die on this stream. But I was minding myself, and I was like exploring the great outdoors today. And chat, can I put those away, you slut? Hal. I know you like it. It's okay. But so one of the things, I don't know, is this just me? Don't do that, Diesel. Gross. Hey, yo, get a room. So I'll go to the doctor, right? And this used to not happen. I don't know what it changed, right? So if it's like pain medication, I can't get it from the doctor, no matter how much damage I'm in, right? But any other medication, I could just get from the doctor by being like, ooh, my lumbago. And it'll be like, you want some of this? And it'll give it to me, right? And this is like every general practitioner I've gone to, or any doctor lately, really, that I've gone to, has been like, you want some of this? And you want some medication? You want some of it? And honestly, it's never been easier to get medication that you can't get addicted to. It's weird, dude. Diesel is cool. I know opioids, right? But I can't get opioids, right? If I shit you not, guys, if I said I was sad to my GP, I could get any SSRI I wanted. No questions asked. She wouldn't ask any follow-ups or nothing. And she would just give me whatever medication for my brain if I asked for it. And this, I'm leading to something else. I'm leading to a much larger prognosis of society, right? because some of you might know that I'm a little bit of a Northern Lion fan, right? I'll be watching his VODs. And his chat was doing the same thing you people do, where you try to diagnose me with autism because I have hobbies and enjoy things. Okay? So they were trying to say that Northern Lion has autism because he uses big words and likes movies. And it was just like, I think if I went into the doctor right now and I said, "Doctor, I think I have autism," the doctor would be like, "Yes, you are. You are. You want a diagnosis for that?" And they would just give it to me. There are no meds for autism. You have anxiety. So here's the thing. Here's the thing. I stopped taking my anxiety medication. And after a little bit of not taking it, it's gone. I don't like it. Like, it was almost like it was like a self-fulfilling thing. Right? Diesel stopped taking his meds. So, oh, he's just like me, for real, for real. See, half of you are like, how could you do that, Diesel? What the fuck? You're not supposed to do that. Right? And then, like, other ones of you are like, yeah, I've done that. Right? Were you regularly in the gym when you were taking your meds? Yes. Yes. Diesel not responding to messages and overloading yourself with work is still anxiety. Sorry. No. Here's why I don't respond to messages. Because 40 people will send messages to my inbox and then it'll just be a meme. Okay? So the priority of me looking at messages goes down because people abuse the privilege of sending me a message.
Diesel, no normal person has hobbies, we all know that. Also, if you are not doing pole practice in an War cosplay, I will riot.
But I think I don't like, I feel like if I just went to the doctor and I just said I had something, they'd be like, yeah, you have something, and they just give me something. Diesel, you don't respond to mine because it's just picture of crack pipes. Let me check. Nah. All I did was DM my smoked meat. I don't know why that sounds more ominous than it is. Right? And there's been a move to using group chats. I don't know if Diesel reads the warning label in his anxiety meds, but it clearly warns that not taking medication at full stop increases the risk of erectile dysfunction. You know, I can say that I have not had that problem. But it's part of it was like I feel like I might have been gaslighting myself. Like I needed to just manage my life better. And managing my life better resolved the issues I had. And it did a lot better than just like, you know, putting an axe to a grindstone and rubbing your face against it and hoping something changed. Right? So it's not even gaslighting. It's just like, if you don't manage yourself, yeah, no shit, you're gonna have problems. Right? And it's like, none of the doctoral stuff that I was dealing with was like ever anybody like, have you tried drinking water and sleeping on time? It was always like, well, if you want to keep up your performance, but you better take your So what you're saying is cognitive behavioral therapy. Yeah, but that never came up in a discussion. It never was like the discussion with the doctors, right? And I went to more than one, was just like, guess we gotta get you on something. It was like, what do you mean? I almost got a colonoscopy at like 24. Like, you claim to no longer be anxious. I see. Cat sending me images that'll make me anxious now to teach me a lesson. So, I don't know if any of you saw it lately, but did we guys watch Fortnite Friday by any chance? Hey, don't knock a colonoscopy. Best snap ever. Yeah, but I don't want to have a camera go up my ass and then that be the last thing I do before I go into a coma. Right? Not to say that will happen. The chances of that are very low. But I kind of just don't want a camera up my ass right now. At some point, a doctor's going to have to check my prostate with his finger. I'd like to keep my asshole clear of any detritus until that time comes, you know? I don't want to put any foreign specimens up that angle or anything like that unless I have to. Okay? So anyway, let's talk about Adrian Dittmann. Right? So recently, I don't know if you guys saw it, but make sure you're subscribed to Diesel IRL because I also do commentary videos here. But there was a little video that was put out regarding Elon's AI fan fiction, right? Because on stream last time, we had found that Elon Musk wasn't making the fan fiction. It was some other fucking guy, right? And so Adrian Dittmann is supposedly Elon Musk, right? So, I gotta make it bigger because we were doing the Rudy stuff last time, and boom, boom. Right? So Adrian Dittmann has been accused of being Elon Musk. And if you guys remember from last time, the last person we talked about wasn't actually Elon Musk. People just really wanted it to be Elon Musk, right? Diesel, your prostate is a ticking time bomb. Just get used to it. Okay, here but there's like a specific age where you get your prostate checked, right? I know I am reaching that age where my prostate will be examined by a man shoving a finger up my butt, but that time had not come. So I would not go out of my way to put myself in that scenario where the finger goes up my ass, right? I'm trying to minimize the time where it goes up my ass. Diesel, has anyone in your family had colon cancer? No. I don't care if it's my G-spot. That's your 40s, bro. I know, and I'm 26 now. And I'm 26. But I don't want to have to be like, oh, well, it's time to go get my butthole checked. I don't want to do that. Diesel, please, I don't have headphones on. You're insane. What do you mean, man? Why not a woman? Diesel, women can also be doctors. But Adrian was accused of being Elon Musk, colonoscopy aside, right? And there was a lot of reasons for that. And some of them are like, you know, Adrian or somebody, he can play doctor. I'm not enlisting anybody who is typing in my chat to check my ass. Imagine you're like a creator or a streamer and you have to go get your prostate checked. Like, that sounds like the worst experience ever. We can... Diesel hates me. Just... There's no pleasing this woman. Stream it. Dude, streaming a colonoscopy. Can we stream it from the camera that goes up the butt? But yeah, so Adrian allegedly was on 4chan. And Adrian / Elon Musk was talking about Elon buying 4chan on 4chan. And it was a weird conversation on 4chan. And one of the things that happened is that Adrian shared a screenshot. And on that screenshot, it showed that Adrian had admin access on Twitter. Right? And, you know, the more I think about it, the more I think, what if the guy on 4chan claiming to be Adrian / Elon Musk was just a completely abnormal third guy who was just like, let me just go on 4chan and do some old-fashioned lying, right? Which is completely possible and happens all the time. But people said this must be Elon because the account has that access, right? They also say that Adrian is Elon because he sounds like Elon. He's in a space right now. Let's take a gander.
In a life or death situation, it's
This
ridiculous.
fucking
It's
anti-Semitic
fucking
dog shit has got to stop. It's so annoying and so unnecessary.
So that's
It's so absolutely
Adrian.
fucking stupid. I don't understand it.
It
Anyways,
does sound just like Elon
welcome
Musk.
everyone. Please
Dude.
quote post to the space with join the conversation. Also, by the way, sorry if I've set a lot of my posts to verified replies only. I would like for more people to, in fact, buy premium.
Right, so
and
that
thereby reply
sounds
verified
like
under my posts.
Elon
If you cannot
Musk.
do that and you want to stay unverified, then
I
if you'd like
know,
to
I
make a
know
comment,
this sounds
doing
like
so is a
Elon. Right? I know it sounds like Elon in that. All right. Is Adrian meant to be American? He does sound suspiciously South African. So here's the thing, right? I talked about this thing called emotional truth in the video that nobody really watched, right? So emotional truth is, hold on, my background got like big. What is this? What I don't know what this is. I have like this extra screen. I think it was a game I was recording. Right? That guy sounds just like Elon Musk. So here's the reason I don't think it's Elon Musk. Elon Musk, when he speaks, does sound just like this, but he has more of a stutter, okay? In my opinion, Adrian does sound a little different than Elon Musk, but they sound very close, okay? They sound very close. But yeah, so like I said, part of why people were like, this must be Elon is because allegedly Adrian Dittmann went on 4chan and talked about Twitter and Elon, right? And I honestly think whoever was on 4chan was just doing a debated lie, okay? Anyway, he's doing an actual stream, so I'm a dip. Oh, I see how it is, Halloween. You should focus on D&D anyway. But yeah, he does sound just like Elon. But emotional truth is basically this thing where it's like, it's what you feel in your heart to be true. It is what you really want to believe to be true. But just because you believe something and want something to be true doesn't mean that it's true. Right? When we believe a thing, we want it to be true more often than not. But that doesn't mean that it is true, right? See, and a lot of us are like, I feel in my heart that Elon Musk is the hugest loser known to man, right? So you and I would think, we think that, right? Because I agree. I think he's an absolute, like, baboon of a guy, right? Diesel's constantly trying to tell us Santa isn't real. Because ultimately, that's the reality of things a lot of the time, that Santa Claus isn't real. And I'm sorry, that's just how it is. Because like, again, I've been doing the drama thing for so long. A lot of times, that's the case, right? If you really hate someone and you're doing research on it, you can find information that person is a piece of shit just because that's what you're doing, right? But People wanted this to be Elon because who would be a fan of Elon, right? That's like, let me do the line of thinking, right? Oh, this has to be Elon Musk on an alt account because who would go on Twitter and defend Elon Musk, right? And so people are like, who would write fan fiction about Elon Musk because nobody finds him attractive, right? These are all things we probably thought in our head when we heard about Elon Musk is writing fan fiction about himself. But anybody who's seen stands on the internet knows that there are crazy fans for everything. Okay? Since Elon admitted to the other burner under threat of perjury, do you think someone will try to bait Dittmann into doing something that could get Musk into court if it's suspected to be him? I mean, you know, sure. Right? So we want this to be true, but we got to take into account here, there are a lot of genuine fans of Elon Musk. Right? Now you can feel however you want about those people, right? I would say don't harass those people. They're allowed to have their like insane hyperfixations or whatever, right? I think it's stupid, but I also thought the K-pop stans are stupid. Okay? Just ask Dittmann if Tesla stocks are going up. That went great for Elon and Co last time. Right? There is, but why can't I have a laugh? Right? So the thing is, right? We can all be like, this guy sounds just like Elon Musk. Right? But if we go around saying this guy must be Elon Musk on an account, we could end up in a situation where we're just believing anything about a person online, right? So the reason I was skeptical of this being Elon Musk is primarily just based on the way they speak, but they do sound very much alike. Here's another reason I don't think it's Elon Musk. As funny as it would be that Elon Musk went on Fortnite Friday with Connor Eats Pants, I'm sorry, but that's too good to be true. That's too good to be true. I don't think it's Elon Musk. I know that would be fucking hilarious. But I don't think it would be Connor Eats Pants that we would learn this information on. But you're gonna say the Easter Bunny's too good to be true now too. Yeah, so but what if it was Deeds? I know that, but the problem is that we all want it to be true. Okay? And we're all just walking around wanting to believe things that are like psychotically ridiculous because we refuse to think that there's a more logical or like easy answer to it. Right? Like, we're bordering on numerology nonsense for this stuff, and we need to stop doing that. This happens all the fucking time now, all right? And there is a possibility that the motherfucker just sounds like Elon Musk, okay? It's like he idolizes Elon Musk so much that he's, like, adopted his mannerisms. But have you also considered we also exist in a cloud world reality? Yeah, but we don't exist in an episode of Always Sunny in Philadelphia, okay? Because, and another reason that I don't think the Dittmann stuff is Elon, right? Is because Elon wasn't the one making the fan fiction. It was somebody else, right? Which, by the way, I said we might look at the fan fiction. But, you know, when I saw that, like, oh, that is just another stan, like another fan of Elon Musk, I was like, okay, you know what? This kind of brings up the possibility that Adrian Dittmann is just some annoying guy. He made himself sound like Elon. Yeah, that's what I think happened. I think he's so obsessed with Elon Musk that he went to make himself sound like Elon so people would take him more seriously when he talks on Twitter, right? Like, look at that. 200,000 followers on his tweets. And a lot of it is him, like, doing spaces and stuff. I think that this guy thinks that more people would listen to him if he sounded like Elon Musk. So I think he trained himself to sound like Elon Musk, right? I think it's more possible that a crazy guy who loves Elon Musk would try to make himself sound like Elon Musk rather than Elon Musk taking time out of his day of doing nothing. So
Dittmann sounded strangely Canadian when he said sorry in the Twitter space.
So I'm gonna really crush the dreams now. I'm going to click on the tab from the Spectator. So the Spectator is a right-leaning media outlet. But they have posted an article saying that Adrian Dittmann is an Elon Musk fan that lives in Fiji. Okay. So this is apparently the Dittmann, right? That's apparently our Adrian Dittmann in question. Fuck you! Hold on. Why is the
Blue Yokai celebrates 19 months of membership. Boss will crush your dreams, but not a watermelon.
Hold on, I'll get into it. I'll get into it. Don't you worry, chat.
The Op Block celebrates 5 months of membership. Chat, remember to like the stream and buy coffee.
All right. Hold on. I'm gonna
For the content and your health.
Thank you, Eric's Blue. There's more than a 0% chance we'll actually hit the Oh my god. See, I can't even get my free reads. I know there's probably an extension for this to get around it. But the website doesn't even work. Yes, there is. Okay, then how does he have admin privileges? Remember, Kim, that came from 4chan. Okay? And 4chan is loaded with motherfuckers who lie all the time. And they're the kind of people who generate really good fake lies. Maybe he bought admin privileges. Dude, why the fuck this website just doesn't even let me work? Oh, here we go. Here we go. I got it. We're good. Archive.today. A conspiracy theory is raging about Adrian Dittmann's account secretly run by Elon Musk. But evidence points to it being a Musk fan named Adrian Dittmann. I don't believe that. I think that's wrong. I think that's wrong. I think they got some of this wrong. I think that this guy's name is not Adrian Dittmann, but maybe they have evidence to prove the contrary, right? Let's see. No, Adrian Dittmann on X is not Elon. He appears to be, in fact, Adrian Dittmann, a German Musk fan living in Fiji. According to the Spectator analysis of his posts, social media, and deleted content, AI art, and comments on spaces, and unique biographical details. Yet, many in American media outlets are convinced that Dittmann is a secret alt run by Musk himself. I sent you a video that includes the guy in DMs as well, allegedly. Okay. I'll take a gander. A claim that both the Dittmann account and Musk himself have denied for years, with the recent resurgence of
The
theory
Weaver of
breaking into
Dreams
mainstream.
celebrates 15 months of membership. He did not sound German.
Yeah, I don't think he sounded German either. Newsweek, The Republican, Rolling Stone are some news outlets that spilled the ink in recent days, wondering if Dittmann was an elaborate Musk hoax. New evidence suggests, okay, blah, blah, blah. The real-life Dittmann is the son of a German software entrepreneur who has launched several businesses in Fiji, including a forestry venture, a bottled water company, and a marina and yachting facility. One of the companies entered the Musk Foundation's $100 million X Prize carbon removal contest. The same month, the Dittmann X account was created in July 2021. So, okay, here's another thing. The fan fiction written about Elon Musk came about after the Adrian Dittmann account was created, because the fan fiction was made in 2024, 2023. If the fan fiction on Elon Musk and Adrian Dittmann was written in 2023, the Dittmann account would be older than those fan fictions. But then that would also... This is weird. This is really weird. X's Adrian Dittmann said he participated in a Musk Foundation carbon removal contest during an April 2023 space, noting how Musk had even spent, I think, $100 million on a U.S. project that supposedly to reduce carbon emissions. Even I took part in it. Let's see. Dittmann explains his unique upbringing and accent. I grew up in Gibraltar. I lived in Morocco for a few years, he said. He also said, I can tell you I'm in Oceania. When asked where he lived, but didn't want to offer more specifics. Last night, on another X space, he claimed to be in his 20s. The Fiji-based German Dittmann fits this unique biography. His father lived for a period of time in Gibraltar, where his company has an office. According to a 2000s UK business filing for the software company that lists his country of residence as Gibraltar. The family relocated to Fiji at some point after 2012, when a company founded by Dittmann's father, Totoka Islands, scouted Fiji as a place to invest in forestry and farming developments. Let's look it up. This is literally just the restaurant. Okay, here we go. This looks like a fake business. What is this? This website is very sparse. Oh! See, the thing is, if there's like an about section on this website or something, like who runs the company. Oh! You've got to be shitting me! This might be like the god of coincidental events. What? I don't get it. Okay, so this article is claiming that Adrian Dittmann's dad, right? That Adrian Dittmann's dad is in charge of a forestry business called Totoka Islands, right? Now, if this was Elon Musk and Elon was making up a guy, we wouldn't have all of this information associated. Why would Elon Musk use a guy that has like history to be his fake person, right? Because you don't want to be able like that. I mean, it would make sense for him to have something with history like that, right? But this is like, these are wealthy people that he would be impersonating, so there'd be no reason for him to do that, right? You would much rather impersonate somebody who's like, because he's thorough. Guys, Elon Musk can't be a fucking genius and a moron at the same time. I'm sorry. It's just, no. Right? But it's like, okay, if this was Elon and he was making up a guy, my vote is moron. Like, he could have an autistic hyperfixation on as RPing as some other guy. Right? But it's like, this stuff, like having an internet footprint like this associated with large business and stuff like that, it would go against Elon being Adrian Dittmann, okay? Unless some people are thinking he just called the guy in on the joke. I could see Elon Musk calling the guy in on the joke too, right? I could see Elon Musk being like, Adrian Dittmann, this is a really funny thing that we're doing. Keep it up. You know? But it's like, okay, we're talking about a company that like plants trees and moves stuff with big commercial shipping, and like, we're talking about humongous barges, okay? So Torolaf Dittmann is apparently the founder and director. We'll go pull that guy up. This is Adrian Dittmann's father, apparently. That is an old image, and that guy also definitely has a toupee. Torolaf Dittmann, founder and president. For me, FrameSoft is a vision made reality, maximizing the business benefits of financial service providers by means of software. Nonsense statement by a nonsense person. Also, this website is shaped very familiarly to the other website. So and here's why this website looks like ass, right? This has been, it's definitely Elon. Guys, this is way too much. You're telling me Elon Musk is making all this stuff too? He's generated a completely fake business history. Elon's jokes are bring in a sink to an office, not a complex gay op. Yeah, maybe it was Grok. I'm gonna do it, chat. I'm gonna jump. I know some of you are like debating right now when you say things like that, but the problem is that I know some people will like look at all evidence and go, I don't believe it. He could just ask AI to spice out some bull, right? Guys, this is not just like some bullshit. This is too much information. Okay. The family relocated to Fiji some point after 2012, blah, 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 to a place to invest in forestry and farming developments in the tropics, according to local news reports. Diesel, we're missing a bigger picture. Where was Grimes during all this? Asking the public to not post pictures of her child. That's where Grimes was during all this. That's why the website looks so bad, Diesel. Grok made them. How many websites can we find a dad on? He should have a LinkedIn. Here's the thing. If you're like a very wealthy like person, right? We're talking like somebody who matters, the 1%. You're not on LinkedIn. You know who's on LinkedIn? PR people, middle managers, and public-facing business officials. Okay? Not like the guy who's in charge of a commercial forestry business that operates in the like hectares, units, and tons of forest. Okay? Because you're never going to interact with them as a person, right? These are the kind of businesses that other businesses talk to. They're like a logistics business, you know? Like, you're never going to interact with, like, Maersk shipping and get a shipping container, you know? You're just not. That's, like, it's not for you, right? The LinkedIn crowd is, like, a crowd that, like, operates in, like, the Chase Bank, middle management, and wealth funds. Don't even get me started on Maersk and their logistics oligopolies. Fiji's Adrian Dittmann in Fiji has a Google Maps profile with a profile picture of a blonde young man with a young woman. The woman is also tagged in his family members and family businesses' social media accounts, appears to be a hand-holding couple of photos on Facebook, while the name Adrian Dittmann and alongside Dittmann in a Fijian government video. You know what's really annoying? I know KJ could have found this. KJ really wanted Adrian Dittmann to be Elon, though. This is just, okay, the Fijian government is just really... Oh.
Development facility and an independent consultant found that 34.9 million Fijian dollars in foreign
Why is it on
exchange was spent
YouTube
directly
Kids?
into Fijian businesses and communities for fuel,
Adrian Dittmusk. Let's see.
maintenance and dockage, including a range of other tourism activities.
So then that would be the guy in question. Adrian Dittmann is just some guy. Okay, guys, let's just like put into perspective here. Either way you dice this, okay, and I'll even admit this, right? Either way you'll dice this entire story is filled with tons of ridiculous coincidences, okay? Right? So, you know, Adrian Dittmann being named in a fan fiction with an Elon Musk-like character is weird, okay? Right? What's even weirder is that Adrian Dittmann is an actual person completely unrelated from Elon Musk. Him being a weirdo is even funnier. Like, it's too... I think you're asking more of the universe to say that Adrian Dittmann is just an Elon Musk alt account. I think it's much easier to just say Adrian Dittmann is just some weird guy. Right? And also, another thing, Adrian Dittmann is weirdly esoteric. And if there's one thing that we've learned as we've looked at wealthier people online, wealthy people are just esoteric weirdos. Okay? They just are. Right? So Adrian Dittmann being like a weirdo is not surprising and shouldn't be surprising. because he's the child of a wealthy business owner.
Safe to say that there is potential future growth in our yacht and super yacht segment. Your state-of-the-art Aquam Insulum maritime lifestyle warehouse, stocked with a spectrum of premium products from certified
Okay, but what if it's both? Yeah, they're both weird guys. They're both weird guys. But Adrian is a separate weird guy.
manufacturers is certainly a
This video is so boring that it's outrageously real. Dude! All right, I think the stuff on 4chan is a red herring. I think the stuff on the 4chan is a red herring to get all the Twitter cells seething. That's what I think it is. I think the stuff you saw on 4chan saying it was Adrian Dittmann, I think that's bullshit. I think that was deliberate bullshit that somebody planted in the ground to make this story even crazier. Because that's something 4chan would do and has done. I don't even know what we're watching anymore. I gotta be honest, I don't really know what they did. This is like, what is this video? It's just like, what fucking artisanal water are they making? Listen, this Adrian Dittmann, Elon Musk fan fiction, this whole story, if this should tell you anything, it should tell you don't trust anything you read on the internet, okay? If somebody posts something without a verifiable source,
hi Diesel,
they're just
enjoy.
lying. Thank you, philosopher. Very poggies, very poggies. Right? But it's like, we are too trustworthy of people yapping on Twitter. I see constant bullshit every day now because I've just I stare at nonsense on my feed and it makes me, you know, the algorithm gives it to me. But it's just this should really go to show you how dangerous this stuff can be. I understand this is like for a goofy like Elon Musk stan, which this guy being an Elon Musk stan kind of makes sense if he's like a wealthy guy. You know, he's a wealthy young entrepreneurial sort, right? Who's probably like really not in touch with the rest of his youth culture. Because if you're wealthy, you're going to be exposed to a different kind of culture than you were if you were just like a normal youth person, okay? Because like, for example, there are brands that are advertised towards like the 1% that don't look like they scream wealth, right? He wants to get in a business circle of Musk, I bet. Well, that's a much more reasonable way to think about it, right? I bet this Dittmann guy is really good at Fortnite. Well, he played Fortnite with Connor Eats Pants. But yeah, I could see it being like, oh, this is how I get my in. Let me just be in on the joke with Elon Musk. The woman bears a resemblance to several pieces of AI artwork the Dittmann X account created and posted of his significant other. Dittmann on X replied to a comment that the woman in the AI artwork was Filipina. Oh my God. Wait. That's the same person, 100%. Are you fucking kidding me? Just as Fiji, yeah. Another guy that makes AI artwork of his significant other. I think that's a red flag. I think that's a red flag. I think it's much more beautiful if a man draws like a stick figure of his wife and his points gets like an arrow and says wife to it. Dittmann's parents appear to be big Elon Musk fans, judging by their X accounts and often replying to Musk, suggesting he'd invest in Fiji, showing off brand new white Model X at their water bottling headquarters.
You don't deserve this money /J.
Dude, but butter on bread is very sad that I'm killing Santa Claus tonight. Yeah, it's business ties. It's business ties. Guys, I'm sorry. Adrian Dittmann's not Elon Musk. I have like a coffee and energy drink here in front of me, so if I go back and forth between them, it's not that I'm like crazy, it's just that I've been nursing this coffee since I woke up this morning. What if his dad is a Fiji water bottler, and then his dad is basically the Fiji version of Elon's dad with the emerald mines? They're the same type of guy. A few years ago, I was there to inspect some machinery at a warehouse in the forest. I saw a spider the size of a dinner plate, says Adrian Dittmann. Yeah, I don't know if it's more or less pathetic that Dittmann isn't a sock puppet. Let's see. Adrian posted something about getting a Starlink on June 9th, 2024. See, if you're a stan of Elon Musk, you get everything. You get everything Elon Musk has, right? If you're a stan of Elon Musk, you buy a Tesla car. If you're a stan of Elon Musk, you get a Tesla wall charger. If you're a fan of Elon Musk, you get a Starlink. If you're a fan of Elon Musk, you get Twitter Blue. If you're a fan of Elon Musk, you probably spend extra money on the expensive version of Twitter Blue. Okay? Like, that's just the kind of culture that you get with, like, it's a stan culture, right? It's sadder that there are more guys like him, I think. Well, like, the zeitgeist of discussion, if you're a fan of Diesel, you buy his coffee, right? The zeitgeist of discussion on Twitter is not representative of the public. The amount of people I speak to on a daily basis that would be approving of Elon Musk versus those that would be disapproving of Elon Musk is actually much higher than you guys think. Because a lot of people don't interact with this side of the internet. They don't interact with this kind of discourse. So their opinion of Elon Musk is a lot better than our opinion of Elon Musk, right? And those people aren't any more or less stupid than us. That's not the point of that, right? The point of it is that people prioritize different things in their life and thus end up believing things that are different, right? I said it on a previous stream. We all believe in conspiracy theories. The only reason that our conspiracy theories don't get questioned is because our community, our generation, has normalized the belief of those theories. Ergo, it's generally accepted as truth, despite there being evidence to the contrary, or there being no evidence at all, right? I vote we go on strike until Diesel does the watermelon stream. You know, Kim, I was looking up today how much pressure I needed to exert on a watermelon in order to break it. And it's 364 pounds, right? I can do a hip abduction at about 120 right now. So I don't know how much that's going to correlate into like a max output of pressure in a Sukuna cosplay. The Dittmann account also deleted a 2021 post showing a sunset photograph that looks like it was taken in a tropical location with palm trees. In an X space Dittmann hosted in December 2023, he spoke with a visiting factory and then driving in the rain to get part from the repairman in the machine, noted blah, blah, blah. Okay. Dittmann has written in German on the account and referenced himself as German and European several times. Diesel, how's your hip abduction at 100? The machine only goes up to 150 pounds. I was doing like 200 on the leg press today. I didn't get a free squat rack, so I had to skip out on the squats, but I did make sure to do a full set of like leg related exercise. So the Dittmann account often hosts spaces where he shows himself cooking a steak and paleo type meals. He posted that switching to a mostly meat diet helped cure his acne using a cookware brand sold in Germany. Power outlets visible in the video are Type 1 outlets, mainly used in Australia, Argentina, Chile, Pacific Island nations such as Fiji. Okay, if there were like pictures of this guy's hands, how did we not figure out this wasn't Elon Musk? Yeah, this is true. I got coworkers who know a lot about a million other things, but when I said Elon sucks, he didn't know why, and everything I had to catch him up on was on Twitter. Yeah. So like, and the point of me saying, and I really want to reiterate, it's not that these people are stupid, right? It's just that they prioritize different things in their life to be knowledgeable about, right? And also another thing, don't do this, and I'm not saying you were doing this, right? But nobody ever wants the coworker or friend who's like, actually, you should know that this guy sucks. Like, it's not talking down to them, right? His Excellency and the First Lady with the Dittmann family. Dude, there's 2 Dittmanns. Look at all these Dittmanns. They all look alike. Interesting. Interesting. What a change. Fiji is an interesting place. I thought they just made water. Not to be racist, but what language is that? I'm gonna be very American right now. I have no fucking clue what language they speak in Fiji. And if I say Fijian, somebody's gonna be like, Diesel, really? Are you really Fijian? There's no way Fijian is a language. They speak Fijian. No! I thought they just made water. I don't listen. I don't think most of us know what happens in Fiji. I honestly don't. When was the last time Fiji was in public discourse? Okay, because all I'd be thinking about when I think of Fiji is the square water bottle that costs $4 at the gas station. All right. I only drink water once in a while. Me too. Oh my god. Fiji's Dittmann was photographed on a boat trip with friends and family in an Instagram photo. Multiple news outlets and pundits have spent recent weeks covering the ongoing social media, theorizing that Dittmann is Musk's alt account, fueled by preconceived notions and no real evidence. Which, yeah, so based off of Musk's previous behavior, guys, think about how many times there have been people claiming to be Elon Musk or Elon Musk adjacent people that are probably just crazy stans. Okay? And honestly, I think the story being that Adrian Dittmann is a crazy stan of Elon Musk is better than Elon being Adrian Dittmann. Because a guy going out of his way to sound like Elon Musk and going out of his way to be falsely called Elon Musk is way funnier than a guy pretending to be somebody else online. Or than Elon Musk doing it, I think. I think some random guy who is just crazy is way better. Musk did operate at least 2 confirmed alt accounts according to a recent lawsuit, but Musk and Dittmann have denied being one another for years. Meanwhile, the conspiracy continues unabated, fueled by unverified 4chan accounts. Yes, so this is a very important point, right? I really don't like how people... I don't know when people got this stupid. Yeah, check your friends later, Anon. See, that screamed bait. When I saw that, that screamed bait, right? Because the check your friends later, Anons, is too obviously like, I'm a 4chaner just baiting somebody else. I don't know what happened, but I feel like the internet has gotten more gullible, right? When there was less people online pre-pandemic, it was a little less gullible, but now I feel like we're maximizing gullible behavior, right? Because saying check your friends later, Nons, is like the most like listen, 4chan is very much aware of what happened with Kekistan in 2016. Okay? They're not fucking stupid. If they're going to make a fake post claiming to be Adrian Dittmann, they're going to fucking do it. Okay? It's hard to tell what's bait and what's being 53 years old, but yeah, I think people are just gullible and they want to believe. Let's see. An endless post on X, like a voice analysis shared by former cybersecurity and digital espionage reporter for the New York Times by purporting to prove Musk and Dittmann are the same person, all while Musk posts roast of legacy media. Yeah, this is honestly an absolute tragedy for legacy media, right? Because legacy media has participated in perpetuating a conspiracy theory. I know that this is a primarily harmless conspiracy theory, but this is a conspiracy theory, right? And when we normalize just random shit like this becoming public discourse, like this is like okay, yeah, insert MGS2 rant here. I'm never escaping the autism allegations with that. But yes, it is like the MGS2 rant. This is literally what they were talking about in the MGS2 rant, okay? All of the nonsense being spread on the internet allows people to believe convenient half-truths, okay? What is the what's the let me play the clip again.
Sandbox of play.
Hold on. Let me play the clip again.
Not unlike genes, really.
That's what history is, Jack.
But in the current digitized world, trivial information is accumulating every second, preserved in all its triteness, never fading, always accessible.
Rumors about petty issues, misinterpretations, slander.
All this junk data, preserved in an unfiltered state, growing at an alarming rate.
Interesting.
Only slow down.
Also, I do think we need to get rid of Twitter. I think Twitter needs to be gotten rid of, period. Full stop. This is why Twitter is an issue, okay? It is doing nothing but preserving convenient half-truths, trite information that does nothing. I'm not saying the AI is right, but Jesus Christ.
Social progress, reduce the rate of evolution.
Right. You seem to think that our plan is one of censorship.
Are you telling me
Twitter and TikTok are the perfect disinfo machines? Yes. You cannot send elaborate, complex ideas over TikTok. It is only simple, like, things that you could truly send through there, okay?
it's not?
You're being silly. What we propose to do is not to control content, but to create context.
Create context.
The digital society furthers human flaws and selectively rewards development of convenient half-truths.
And it does. And I really hate that okay, so the problem with what the AI is saying, and I've said this before on stream, is that taking away the public's ability to police themselves is basically like the New World Order, right? You're getting rid of people's free will by choosing what they can talk about, right? Because if the shadow government can control what we talk about, then we can never talk about the issues that matter. So, for example, with the Luigi trial, they charged Luigi with an act of terrorism. So that, and I knew exactly where this was going the second they said that, right? Because I paid attention to like the Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein trials. So, and I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist, but this is why this would happen, right? So in a federal courtroom, you can't bring cameras in. You can't televise the entire court procedure, right? And that's where you get all the sketches from, because you can't bring in a camera, but police, or not police, but court sketchroom artists can be in there, right? But keeping the court case from being televised can stifle the conversation. Less people will talk about it because there's no visual aid for them to engage with, right?
Just look at the strange juxtapositions of morality around you.
Billions spent on new weapons in order to humanely murder other humans.
So, and this is something I don't think I've talked about before, but a lot of this, it controls what, it's deeper than that. It controls what words you know and don't know. If there's no word for oppression, how do you express being oppressed? So, not Elon, but Hideo Kojima is very fundamentally anti-war. He's not anti-violence, but he understands that war is an issue. There's a lot of generational trauma with the atomic bombs in Japan, and so that's been the basis of his his belief systems. So, he's making a statement about how ridiculous war is by talking about how insane it is that we make weapons that kill people better so they suffer less. Which honestly, I'd rather be blown up by a bomb than stabbed with a sword personally. But the idea is like a multiplicative factor, right? A bomb can kill 100 people, a sword kills people one at a time.
Rights of criminals are given more respect than the privacy of their victims.
Although there are people suffering in poverty, huge donations are made to protect endangered species. Everyone grows up being told the same thing.
Be nice to
and unfortunately, this entire conversation has been recontextualized for why people have insane political views, right? So like people listen to this and be like, damn, the AI's spitting. But again, like Phobia has mentioned in the chat, like I have mentioned, right? What the AI is proposing in contrast to all of these issues is inherently worse and anti-human. Okay, so people being like, "Hey, the AI is kind of spitting. Maybe we should give control to somebody else." That's the problem.
People.
But beat out the competition.
You're special. Believe in yourself, and you will.
Right, especially this part where they're talking about the millennial, because this is when millennials would have been young people, right? So this is like the millennial talking points of like millennials feel like they're owed everything, millennials feel like they're special, participation trophies, yada yada yada.
Succeed.
But it's obvious from the start that only a few can succeed.
You exercise your right to freedom, and this is the result. All rhetoric to avoid conflict and protect each other from hurt. The untested truths, spun by different interests, continue to churn and accumulate in the sandbox of political correctness and value systems.
Everyone withdraws into their own small gated...
Which is already... So some of this stuff has actually come to pass. And I really am starting to recognize that more, which is why I'm in a position now where I don't want... So, like, I got rid of my Twitter Blue, and honestly, like, I use Twitter for work, so that's kind of fucking annoying, but it's, it's whatever. But it's like, it's impossible to counteract this fake news, right? So, like, the stuff with this Adrian Dittmann stuff actually does make me upset. Because this is an example of like people's failing trust in like journalism, which I care about. People's failing trust in like the systems that exist now. It encourages the belief of, again, convenient half-truths, right? And as a result, it does nothing but fundamentally harm society. So I understand that this is like a conspiracy theory that doesn't really mean anything, but it's what it could lead to is what bothers me. And those are things that I try, I try my best to be factual with reporting. I try my best to deliver information that's prescient. Even though I understand that I cover really stupid, very boring, very nonsense stuff, I want it to be good because I want to be able to set an example for people, right? But, you know, this tells me, okay, you know, we're still retreating to communities. We're still not solving the issue. In fact, the issue is getting worse because we're more inclined to believe things that are very clearly not true. The guy does sound like Elon Musk. There's no doubt about it. But yeah, I would argue Adrian is better at talking. He doesn't stutter as much as Elon. But people want to believe that it's Elon. I go on Twitter right now. There's tons of posts saying, I still think it's Elon. I think that this is not real. I think this article is false, right? People think this article debunking it is false because nobody trusts journalists anymore. And honestly, part of that is that, like, that was journalists' fault. They did it to themselves. But it's a problem. This is a huge problem. You know, I understand that this is a really stupid thing I'm talking about, but it is. It's representative of a much worse issue. Hold on, chat. I would rather people believe in Santa than conspiracies. That's true. Yeah. Yeah, I will say I knew a guy who believed in Santa at the age of 26. And and he also believed in conspiracy theories. So I don't know what the overlap there is, but there is some overlap. Human pet guy believes in Santa. Did his parents just not tell him? I don't really. Both of his parents are chronic alcoholics, so I don't know about that. Okay. So let's talk about this. Since the Adrian Dittmann stuff has had a lot of water thrown on that fire, right? Santa exists and hates poor people. A lot of news sources and journalism have become so opinion-based that it's hard to find a reliable source. Yeah, that's true. I think just understanding where media bias lies and becoming more conscious of media bias as a concept is really a good thing. And just understanding where people are coming from and being familiar with certain writers to understand how good or bad they are. So Extra Emily is part of, I do believe she's part of OTK or was part of OTK. But there was an LSF thread about her and then it was deleted, which, by the way, LSF, but this is every fucking Reddit community, right? Where they have like certain subsects of Twitch streamer or creator where they won't go after them because they're like either friends or like the mod staff are like friends with the people that work on the Reddit. And that's just annoying. But apparently, you know what? I'm just gonna listen to these clips because apparently she got cooked for something. But I'm just gonna listen to these and listen and defer my opinion after I listen to them. So I haven't listened to these yet.
It's fine. The only reason they want me to pay it back is because I'm a streamer.
Yeah, you should pay it back.
Because I didn't use my degree. So they're like, okay.
How much is it? And I will say this, OTK has a lot of skeletons in their closet, so I don't particularly like her. But I have a feeling I might be on her side with this one, chat. Even though I don't like her.
170K.
You should pay it back.
I don't want to. I mean, I did pay them 10K, and then I was like, I'm over this. I don't want to pay anymore.
Mom! Do you think it's a waste that I went to college? That is a really good question.
Okay, it's not because they're Asian, but do you guys... So in Everything Everywhere All at Once, you know, like the struggle of like a child of an immigrant having to meet the expectations that are set forth by their parents? I think it's this.
I spent a lot of money on that, and then you become a streamer.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, she's like, I paid your way through college and then you didn't use it. So, you know, she feels upset about it because the expectation is that her daughter uses her degree.
But I'm also hoping.
That's a really good question. I don't know how to answer it.
But I'm paying you back for
What did she go to college for? I don't, maybe one of you could tell me. I think it was like computer science or something, but I might be wrong with that.
college.
Yes, that's right. That's a necessary.
That's necessary.
Yeah.
See, it's like
Yeah, we're almost broke because
finance. Okay.
you went to the college, go to the expensive one. Yeah.
Okay, so what's the? It's fine.
So she went to finance school. Her parents paid for her college education in finance. And she doesn't want to pay her parents back for the education they paid for.
Do you think that would be your best gift towards your dad or your parents? To pay back your tuition?
I'm never gonna pay it back though.
Wait, actually?
No, I don't want to.
But you could.
Yeah, but I'm not going
Wait,
to.
do you have student loans?
Yeah, student loans to my parents.
Yeah, but wait, what? Hold on. No. Pause here for a minute, Emily. Emily, your okay. Emily does realize that she's the co-signer. Her parents are co-signers on those loans, right? Those are her loans too. Those are her loans, right? So those aren't just her parents signed the loans. She had to sign those loans too. She had to agree to that. Okay, because I did that. Because I had to co-sign on the loans with my parents. Because otherwise I wouldn't have been able to get the loans. I think she meant it more like her parents paid out of pocket. But she's saying that she still has student loans. Right? If her college degree is already paid for and is like she's paying the parents and not paying the bank, that's a different story. But if it's like her parents saved up 140K, holy shit. You're telling me they paid it out of pocket? That's insane. But if it's student loans, then that's as no diesel is in her parents paid it, no loan. That's okay. That's wild. They must have been nickeling and diming to hit that. She should have not made this public. No, absolutely not. Cope and Steve with the raid. Very based Beckett. Based Beckett. I'm not close with my family at all, but I don't know why she thought saying she wouldn't pay her parents back to her cookie cutter audience. Well, like if her audience is familiar with her relationship with her parents, I could see them agreeing with her, but clearly they don't.
And you're making them pay it off?
No, like my parents paid, and then they're like, pay us back for college, and I just like don't want to.
Then she honestly, like if you're at that moment with your parents, you probably should just not speak to them. Really, like you shouldn't like half and half be like, hi mom, I'm here for dinner, and then your parents are like, when are you gonna pay us back the 140,000? And she'll be like, no. Like, don't participate in the family. Like, I don't know. Like, if you're like a kid who has like a lot of trauma from your parents, but you then willingly decide to interact with them as an adult, I don't know what to tell you.
But don't you think that would make them like really happy and proud?
No, they're fine.
Yeah, the parents didn't need to pay for
Are you doing
college.
it kind of like almost out of spite because you're like, I don't want to because like I can, but I know that you guys don't need it?
Yes.
That's why you don't.
Yes, they don't need it. And I'm
You
like,
don't need it.
I'm just a bad daughter.
Yeah, then she'd do some shit where she was cooked on the side of the road and try. Yeah, she's like, Cloudy's right. She's like the small bean Andy. I feel like it's a lot of people's dreams to help their parents. Lol. Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. It's like, okay, if you, so like this is such a complicated thing because we're talking about like familial issues, right? And I'm trying to be like, because like I have, listen, what person in their 20s doesn't have a difficult relationship with their parents? Okay, because here's a few things as you realize as you get older, right? You need to set boundaries with your parents. The relationship with your parents becomes more complex as you become an adult. You need to understand what is and isn't important between yourself and your parents. And these are things that you all work out in your 20s, right? And it's difficult and it's hard and there's conflict that raises from that, right? And, when you're in your 20s, you try to unwork. So if your parents are great and no parents are perfect, right? But we always give a little bit of our problems to our children. That's just a reality of it. The problem, what we want to do is to be a good parent to our kids, and that's fine, right? But you never know what kind of things you did as a parent are going to negatively impact your child, right? It's more of them having an issue just in general. I hate being right about negative, but so we have, these complicated relationships with our parents, some of us more so than others. If our parents are negative enough of influences in our life that we need to drop them as people that we interact with, then that's something that you need to do and be confident in yourself to do that, to be like, I don't need the help from my parents. I am dropping them. Right? But other people, the relationships, it's not that easy to make that decision. It's like, oh, my parents pressured me to go to college and do this specific thing, but they also spent a lot of time doing things for me, right? It doesn't seem to me, based off of what I'm seeing, that her parents were unloving. I'm just saying that it probably was a lot of that mentality of like there's familial expectations. We want you to meet those expectations. You became a streamer. That's a bullshit job. I don't understand it. I worked, 60 hours a week doing a job I hated so that way you could go to college. Right? So it's like a complicated relationship that Emily has with her parents. But that sounds, what she's talking about right there sounds like one of those non-starter things. It sounds like she'd want to drop her parents, but then also part of her doesn't want to, right? But I would argue that if she doesn't want to pay that $140K, that's a non-starter with your parents. There's no reach it, like you need to reach a complicated like medium there. Okay, that needs to be mediated. You need to figure out what the issue is. Like Emily, if Emily didn't want to go to finance school and she went to finance school because of her parents, she should tell her parents, right? She should sit down with her parents and be like, listen, I didn't want to go to finance school. You guys made me go to finance school. That wasn't my decision. I didn't choose to do that. I only did that because you guys gave me no other choice. Ergo, because that was your decision, I am not paying you back, and I want you to respect that. And if they say, no, you got to pay us back because we're your parents, then she can say, okay, well, then this relationship is done. Goodbye. And then she has to leave, right? And that relationship should end. Some Asian parents setting their kids up as retirement plans instead of them being people with their own lives. It's not even just an Asian thing. There's a lot of cultures that do that. Hispanic culture does that too. That happened with me and my brother. But it was a conversation for a period of time, and eventually my parents were like, go to art school, right? And I went to art school, and I gotta be honest, they were kind of right. I shouldn't have gone to art school. Right? But yeah, so it's like you got to work out these things with your parents and have difficult conversations. And it just seems like Emily has this strong opinion, but then also doesn't want to have a conversation with her parents. Right? And it's like, okay, whether or not she should pay it back remains to be seen. I think that's really a difficult conversation to have. Did you have fun at art school, though? I had fun for the first 2 years in game design college. I hated film school. Don't say that. If you had gone to art school, I could have bullied you. Yeah, I was miserable at film school. I hated it. I hated it. Telling a parent a flat no is hard. Yeah, I understand it's hard, but like that's like a thing that you figure out in your 20s and you go, "Oh shit, I got to have boundaries with my parents." Maybe this happens at a little bit of a younger age in like Europe, but here in the US, you're 18, you don't know any better. You just go to college because that's what your parents say. And then you become like 23 with a degree and all this debt, and you're like, what do I do? You're the person you are today because of art school. Derogatory. Right, but it's like, it's a complicated answer. I think if Emily is like, here's the thing. In my personal opinion, whether or not you do or do not have kids, or if, let's say, Emily has kids later, I don't think she should, and I don't believe in karma, but I don't think she should put the energy in the world of fuck them parents for the future. But if she's gonna make a decision, she should be more concentrated on it, because it just seems like she's very wishy-washy, and that's not good.
No, you know what it is? It's exhaustion.
Yeah, I think I'm just exhausted.
It's exhausting. Listen, if it makes you feel any better, at least your parents still talk to you.
Yeah, my parents are cool.
I only got one left.
Like, my parents are like overall really happy and think I'm a good daughter.
You are a great daughter.
I don't know.
See, this should not be streamed. This is bad.
No, Arthur, what have you done?
They were very happy that I bought Cancun for them.
So you'll buy them things, but then you won't pay back college? Oh boy, Emily, there's gonna come a point in time where your parents have a terminal illness and you're gonna need to make a really tough decision, and I don't think you're emotionally mature enough to do that. Yeah, she made it complicated for herself. She clearly loves her parents. I think it's really funny what that guy's saying. I only got one left. That's when somebody says that, they're implicitly trying to say, I think you should reconsider your attitude about your parents. That's what somebody's saying. Listen, okay, here's my thing. If Emily is like oozing millions of dollars, if she is so breaded that she has more money than she knows what to do with, pay it back. Pay it back. Okay? You can't take it when you die, Emily. If your parents are not bagillionaires, right? Pay it back, because it'll give them freedom as elderly people to live their life, and then you don't need to interact with them anymore if it's really that hard for you. But you can't do both. You can't pay for things for your parents, and then when your parents say, hey, we spent a lot of money on this, can you pay us back? You can't go, no. Okay? Because Cancun is not a cheap trip for anybody. Millions of Americans can't fly on planes because they're too broke. It is admittedly a complicated issue. I will admit it is. There is nothing more complicated than dealing with family issues. All right. But I see this all the time where young people don't set boundaries with their parents that are appropriate. Okay. Imagine not swimming to Cancun from Tampa. But it's definitely that child of an immigrant parent generational like duty that a lot of people have, right? A lot of people deal with that, right? Which is why I said Everything Everywhere All at Once, because that's what that movie is specifically dealing with. That's the themes of that movie. Hey guys, that's what I use my film degree for, so that way I could compare this internet drama to a movie I've seen. She should put it up to a poll whether or not she should pay her parents back. But yeah, I mean, her vocalizing this on stream is probably the biggest issue here, right? Because most people are broke and they spend money on her, right? And so they go, if I could, I would. So they're mad at Emily because she's in a position where she could do it and chooses not to. But that's the thing. When everybody gets wealthy, they think they'll do better than the other guy, right? We think we'll get successful, and all of a sudden we'll figure out how to solve all of our fucking problems. Oh yeah, my mother, when I was in my early 20s, had text conversations with people I was dating behind my back to get information because I wouldn't talk to her. Yeah, and it's like when you find stuff out like that, right? So it might not even be, so I don't know what it is with your parent, right? It might not even be that a parent is doing that maliciously, but it's because your relationship with them changes, right? And so you just need to be an adult about it and be like, listen, I love you, you've raised me, but we need to like, okay, like I love you, I'll talk to you, blah, 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 but I don't want you talking to my partners, or I don't want you being involved in my love life, or I don't want you to help me move, I'll pay for somebody to do it, right? There's like tons of things, right? Like like starting the business, I paid a lot of money to start running the business. And the only reason the business came about is because my grandmother died. But as a result of that, I live at home, right? And a lot of that is like making money from teaching. I don't make a lot, right? You can think you're 100% in the right, like a little victim of your family, and people will still judge you as the aggressor. Yeah, that's true. That's true too. But you know, it's like so like I live at home and I prefer not to, but I do. And like I joked about it at the beginning of stream where the washing machine thing was actually an issue because it took away from a week of work. It like derailed my like New Year's plans and all this stuff, and it was like, okay, that was fucking annoying. So I had to have a conversation where I was like, just so you know, there's one thing that I want respected in this house, and it's my time and personal space. This was a direct like result of that not being respected. And it was like not a easy conversation to have. But having those conversations is important. And sometimes you need to reiterate them, especially as your parents get older. Their memory is not going to be completely infallible, right? So that way they and you understand where those boundaries are, right? So my boundary was, if you're going to do something, please tell me in advance so I can make time for it. They forgot, they didn't do that. And so I was like, you didn't respect those boundaries. I'm upset at you, right? But those are things that young adults don't realize very often. So me telling you this on stream, if you're a young adult, is so that way you can learn to go have those conversations, because a lot of motherfuckers don't do that. Can I get a Cliff Notes version of the washing machine story? So we were broke and we would go to the laundromat. Many people do. You know, my dad had saved, and he's going through the process of fixing the house because our house is a disaster. And one of those things was getting washing machines, because like driving at night is difficult. It happens when you get older. Your eyesight gets worse. We live in the middle of nowhere, so a laundromat drive is like a 3-hour trip, right? Like when I go to the gym, it's a 3-hour trip. And so he was off from work one day, left the house, went to a department store and said, I'm buying this washing machine and this dryer. And so he did that, and and now there's a washing machine and dryer coming. And the gym is about an hour drive. I'm at the gym for about an hour, and then it's an hour drive back. But most normal people speak with the other people in their house before they buy large appliances. My dad is an idiot. I don't think highly of him, and I also don't care what my chat thinks. There's a lot of reasons for that. Some of which, you know, the good kind or bad kind, the bad kind of idiot. So the washing machine will need to be in my room, right? And I know that it would interfere with things, but because my parents struggle with certain things, I was willing to allow that to happen. I wasn't going to fight it, right? So like, I know driving at night is difficult for them. You know, fucking, it's difficult. So I'm fine with the washing machine being there. I just wanted to know. But I wasn't, so that became a conversation about boundaries and respecting each other's time and space. Right? But the thing is, and I think a lot of people don't do it, they don't talk to their parents about these things. Right? Because there's a lot of people are scared to do that. Especially when you're a young adult, you don't want to piss your parents off. Right? Because you're still relying on them for things. I'm the idiot parent, but my son is 10. Don't worry, you got like 10 more years. Right? But it's just like you need to be able to have those discussions. And a lot of young people just don't do that. You know? And they need to realize to do that. But Emily here definitely sounds a little entitled. She definitely does. The way she's talking about it comes off a little entitled. I think it's really great that her parents paid for her college, and I'm sure having a finance degree is going to help her very greatly in her streamer career. But you know, it's like you can't buy trips and buy stuff for your parents and then not pay them back. You know, because then it's just like, what are you doing? You're like making it a power play thing. Don't do that. Like, you're an adult. You don't have time for that. Well, don't waste your time being like, I'm not going to pay my parents back, but I'm going to show them how wealthy I am. Like, that's childish. Like, grow up. You know, and it definitely sounds like that. It sounds like you definitely, like, I'm speaking to Emily. It sounds like she wants to show her parents that she's successful. But her success shouldn't be, like, measured by how much worth her parents assign to it. And she's very concerned about that. Hey, Diesel, I don't think normal people are worried about pissing off their parents because they depend on them. They're worried because then your parents are upset and you feel bad and it feels bad. Yeah, that's part of it too. I'm talking about like the actionable things that determine like money, right? I'm not talking about like the emotional aspect. The emotional aspect is a huge part of it too. Parents can make you feel guilty. They can make you feel all sorts of things, right? But you know, again, the feelings of guilt or emotionality, sometimes those are warranted from a parent, sometimes they're not. But it's about being able to recognize your emotions, right? Like, you should be able to recognize you're being an asshole and you're actually at fault, right? Because like I was being, so for the washing machine thing, I was being really argumentative, right? And then I took a step back and I was like, okay, I'm being way too pissed off about it. I need to stop. Let me tell you, I was being an asshole. We could talk about this like adults, right? I make all right money, but my mom and dad would actually be pissed if I bought them a trip to Mexico. My dad still gets upset if I pay for dinner before he's able to. Her parents not considering the gifts Trips bought for them as a kind of payback. They want physical cash. Because I think that's why she says they're fine. Who knows? Who knows, you know? I'm late to the party, but is it true that Elon's No, I don't think Elon's planning on buying 4chan. I don't even think that was Elon Musk on 4chan. But it definitely just seems like Emily needs to, like, manage her shit better. None of this should be public. None of it. But also, OTK sucks massive wiener, and I hate all the people that work there. Fuck you, Extra Emily. Feel bad, bitch. If you can't mediate your issues with family, go to therapy. Go to therapy now. Go to the casino. Bet it all on black. I don't know what OTK is, and I'm scared to ask. It's a streamer house that was known for its weird sex pest scandals. That's what OTK is. OTK lore dump. Ms. Kiff may or may not have hid a sex pest scandal in the OTK business. And also, Asmongold is an owner of OTK. Take that for how you will. Streamer house is never a good thing. Never, ever, ever. Yeah, they really do be sucking. Okay. I'm more annoyed they're going to Cancun during an economic recession. Motherfuckers can't even have a vacation anymore. I was going to, do you guys want to look at some niche 40K drama? What about a drama house? Yeah, it's just a bunch of white guys sitting in their rooms alone, not talking to each other, and all of them ordering obscene amounts of DoorDash while nobody showers. Warning, the most annoying guy you know is talking about 40K drama.
You like Warhammer 40K?
Dude, this guy has... I don't want to be that guy, but this guy has such an outfit on.
Well, if you do, it's likely you've seen artwork like this floating around for a while now.
I mean, if it's on YouTube, I'm sure it'll be fine. Dude, I've seen this artist before.
Floating around for a while now.
What's that thing on his head, dude? Dude, the shag mullet coming back is a huge problem, all right? The most egregious thing in this video is the fucking mullet.
Well, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on your position, you're going to be seeing a lot less of it. Because as of November, merely posting artwork by Mosa Cannibales is banned from r/Imaginary Warhammer. This little Reddit drama is a couple months old at this point. However, I have not seen it
Dude, there was a artist, I think they're called like Chumi Chumi or something, and they did like the Space Marine maids, which are really popular custom chapter that they made, and they made like this a hilariously like offensive caricature of a disabled Space Marine, and I couldn't even tell if it was satire or not, but it was like a stone toss level caricature that they made of a Space Marine in a wheelchair.
Discussed much on YouTube. To quickly disclose my biases, I am a very big fan of Mosa Cannibales' art style, and I'm not a big fan of Reddit moderators. Frankly,
this guy, hold on, mullet guy's based.
I'm not a fan of Reddit culture in general. But I'm going to
That too, me too.
do my best to push those very small biases aside in an attempt to give you a clear breakdown of the controversy. First, who is Mosa Cannibales? From my understanding, they are a highly prolific South Korean artist who depicts a wide array of subject matter.
bread tuber.
Ranging from Abrahamic and Greek mythology
Mullet guy has never topped his wife with that jawline, dude.
to goofy little fandoms like Splatoon. They've been at this for quite a while and have accumulated almost 500,000 followers on Twitter. Chances are you've seen their artwork around us. It's pretty recognizable. Mosa Cannibales' art is an interesting blend of an anime/manga style with more Western influences. Where most anime is concerned with strong, consistent line work, Mosa's lines feel more labored and organic, consisting of many lines blending into one another. I also find their coloring, shading, and rendering to be more painterly, with a concerted focus on anatomy. To me, it's reminiscent of charcoal figure drawings that are meant to study and accentuate how light interacts with the human curvature. To me, this gives Mosa's art a slightly elevated high art feel.
This is killing me. This is killing me.
Despite this, they are not afraid to revel in low art tropes. Quite a bit of their art features nudity, and it only gets more spicy from there. For instance, water sports seems like a somewhat consistent theme. Others have pointed out,
Wait, pissing? Pissing?
and I'm very much in agreement.
No, it's not because it's AI. I've seen Mosa's account.
And that many of their pieces could be considered iroguro. For the uninitiated, iroguro is a Japanese.
Oh my god, dude. Some of you are so new to the internet. Oh my god, dude.
Artistic movement concerned with eroticism, sexual corruption, and decadence. And before I get the classic,
gosh, dude, this guy is. Listen, buddy. Down here, we just call it goon material, okay? We don't eroguro anything.
that nuclear bomb really did a number on those Japanese. Keep in mind this is a pre-war movement intended to elicit arousal and fear through a blend of erotic and grotesque imagery.
If you've ever seen this art, like the art from like the classical stuff like that, that's just like super cool. But like, dude, Chad is gonna fucking lose their bananas over this.
But that's enough ball washing in art history. Let's get back to the story proper. Moses started doing pieces featuring...
Don't tell him Renaissance art had nudity. Yeah, but like what Aroguro is like violence mixed with erotic, right? So it's like the erotic mixes with the violent, which, you know, it has its place in art. And I also think it also tells a lot about, like, you can tell a lot about a piece, because I've been to art museums and I've seen artwork that's really violent, but there's also like a sexual tinge to it. And a lot of like understanding that artwork is understanding that artist's relationship with sex and maybe their like personal struggles with sex, or maybe their fears about it, or the hangups that they have.
Scenes and imagery associated with Warhammer 40K. Naturally, these got...
And there's a lot of that kind of art with 40K. Because 40K often mixes that stuff in its themes.
Shared around relevant subreddits and absolutely exploded in popularity. I'm talking thousands of up triangles and endless threads of quippy Reddit humor. These symbiotic relationships chugged along just fine until 3 images caused people to start asking a couple questions.
Oh no. Oh no, not the ugly bastard trope. Oh my god. I know exactly what happened here. I know exactly what happened here.
I feel very often uncomfortable when certain terms are used outside of the pits of hell I venture through.
The funny thing is, Fernando, is like I understand these things, and sometimes the commentary guys will have discussions about this stuff, and they're like so unequipped to have discussions about these that they'll freak the fuck out, right? But like this is clearly, so you know, okay, so the ugly bastard trope, for those of you guys that don't know, is like the idea of this grotesque man figure usually unconsensually being frisky with a female character, right? Not all the time, but sometimes. But that's definitely what's being evoked here, right? There's like a little bit of that going on with this piece. It's a very cool piece. I love the way orcs should look like this. Okay? Orcs should look like this. That's what they should look like in 40K. They should be grotesque. They should be scary. I will also say they don't have penises. So there's that. Dude, the thing is, they're all pearl clutching, but then all of them want to fuck femboys. So this definitely has... I don't think this one is inherently sexual, really. I think there's definitely some sexual connotations with it, because there is a fetish associated with this. But I think, yeah, like Mega Tensei is saying, I feel like it's meant to make you feel uncomfortable. Yeah, I think this isn't meant to elicit. You shouldn't be jerking off to that. I think that should scare you, right? But I also think that it has a little bit of a sexual angle to it, but I don't think it's supposed to make you hard.
This is where our story gets too dark for the grimdark.
Grimdark has always had a really hard problem, 40K especially, because Slanesh is like the chaos god of debauchery, and being the prince of pleasure means that, yeah, there's a lot there. Good morning. What are we talking about? Porn, but educatedly. Reminds me of Fear and Hunger. Dude, imagine Fear and Hunger hitting the commentary discourse. But yeah, Slanesh is really hard to do in 40K because, you know, many Slaneshi cultists would probably rape people and kidnap people and do that and peel their skin off while sodomizing them. Dude, I love the abhumans picture. That one was sick.
Before we proceed, I'd like to say parts of the story are a little bit fuzzy. While I have a pretty decent understanding of the broad strokes, I'm not a...
Berserk is another type of thing where people would really struggle to, like... I know people struggle to, like... The educated discourse around Berserk often stops where the sexual violence begins. Same thing with Fear and Hunger.
Avid Reddit user and trying to retroactively gauge the sentiment of multiple communities.
But there's like a subsect of 40K fans that are new that are really pearl clushy too, which is really fucking annoying. But like anybody, the Homunculaba is probably a very famous example of like a moment where 40K got really, really edgy. Basically the short version of it is a Homunculaba was this thing that would take pregnant women, forcefully impregnate them. So that way, I think it was the Iron Warriors could produce new Space Marines. But these women were being distorted and their bodies were being destroyed and turned into these strange things to create new Iron Warriors, right? And basically they would be forcefully impregnated over and over. And it was like some weird flesh machine. So it wasn't like they were like, it was bad. It was bad. They were being like tied to it. It was fucking bad. And it was in a very famous series of novels for a Space Marine character. But a lot of people felt that was too far. Like 40K has hyperviolence, just tons of poverty and stricken, like every single type of war crime committed is in 40K. But the one thing that they can't do in 40K is really sexual violence. So doing stuff like Slanesh is really hard, but Fulgrim is coming back. So who knows what's happening next.
Of thousands of people after a lot of content has been deleted is kind of difficult. Regardless, these 3 images got the ball rolling in the wrong direction.
I don't even think any of them are that bad.
First of which features an orc eating a female Steel Legion soldier in graphic detail. To me, it feels vaguely reminiscent of Francisco Goya's painting of Saturn eating his son. While a lot of people did enjoy this,
I probably wouldn't compare it to that. There's probably a better example, but yeah, all right.
Some felt that it sexualized the gore, and
I don't even think I've definitely seen some Guro art that sexualizes. I've seen some Guro art that sexualizes. That's not sexual.
was less artwork and more thinly veiled fetish material. Personally, I believe the vague eroticism of the image makes it more effective as horror.
I agree with that too.
Especially if viewed through the
Yeah, the Broodmother is a great example, but here's the thing. I don't think you could do the Broodmother today. I don't think they'd want that at Dragon Age.
lens of Iroguro. The next image features a small female soldier, bloodied and under the foot of a hulking orc, who is...
This is definitely... So this is obviously, like, a scary image, but the face she's making also elicits some of that, like, sexual imagery. So I could understand that, but I also think that people are pearl clutching.
manipulating her face forcefully. The orc glares down lustfully, and the woman's face is contorted in a near-death hentai orgasm expression. People were quick to point out that this image feels a little bit rapey. Given my personal knowledge...
Okay, it feels a little bit rapey. I don't think the people on Reddit actually engage with 40k, because Slanesh as a concept is just rapey.
Of Warhammer 40k, this seems like a fairly plausible depiction of orcish treatment of prisoners of war. However,
see, an orc could never... I will also say a orc could never, like, penetrate anybody. They don't have a penis.
However, I'm not active in these...
I mean, I guess I could do other things, but...
communities, and from what I can gather, orcs have, for some time now, been treated as a source of comic relief within the fandom.
Yeah, I do think there's a lot of Flanderization going on with 40k. I think we're in a really good position with 40k. I don't think Tyler, if you're in the chat, feel free to comment, but I think there's a little bit of Flanderization, especially with like guys like the Ultramarines or the Imperium becoming a lot more of like this heroic image, especially through the lens of the Ultramarines, because nobody could ever say that Rebude Gilliman isn't a good guy. Apparently the purpose of that pic is the orc checking her teeth because they're orc money. Oh, okay.
So with that in mind, I can see how people maybe got a little upset when their race of lovable murderous dummies...
I wish I could draw, because I feel like I would... Actually, here's why I'm glad I don't draw. Because I would deliberately make things that annoy people, because I would make art like this to just make people mad.
Suddenly is depicted as committing the Yiki War.
But yeah, there's a lot of like orc are always a comedic relief when orcs are also really scary, but I never see orcs depicted as horror anymore. What else? Yeah, the Ultramarines got a lot of Flanderization, I think. They're just too good. It's really fucking irritating. Yeah, it's just
Or crimes.
Time for Diesel Hentai Dojin Rider arc. I would never do it related to me at all.
Now we'll move on to the straw that broke the camel's back and was ultimately the catalyst for Moses' ban. At first glance, this image is going to seem extremely innocuous, but trust me, it's the details that count. As you can see, the image is comprised of an 8-woman cadre of abhumans. We got an Ogren, a Beastman Caprigore, a Ratlin, a Felinid, Navigator.
So so in case any of you don't pay attention to 40k lore, these are all subspecies that exist in the human culture of 40k. The Imperium of Man does actually keep abhumans around, right? Because they're useful. So like the Ogren are big lumbering ogre-like humans that are stupid, but they're incredibly strong and incredibly loyal. So they're great frontline shock troops. Ratlins are amazing snipers, right? The vibe in general of YouTube at the moment is an overabundance of young adults who are raised in a YouTube for kids that don't like adult subject or behavior in videos. They're technically human enough. Well, I do believe there are some inquisitors that would disagree, Greg. Right, but Beastman, all that stuff, right?
An Ogren, a Beastman Caprigore, a Ratlin, a Felinid, Navigator, a Night Sider, a cool black lady, and a Longshank. The whole damn crew is here. However, if you take a closer look at the Caprigore, you may see where people took offense. First, let's zoom in on the chest plate. Now, as you can see, it reads in some form of graffiti, Meat Shield. If you're watching, you're likely acquainted with Warhammer lore, but to give a brief rundown,
Psyker, she's a psyker. Psyker.
Men are former humans fused with livestock via chaos magic. Understandably, they're pretty bitter about it and have been waging...
Yeah, Beastmen and Beastmen at 40k really don't get a feature anymore, which is a shame, because I think the Beastmen race in 40k is interesting, and I'd love to see more abhumans depicted in Imperial Guard models, personally.
war with normal-looking folk for a very long time. There have been times when they've been enlisted by the Imperium, however, they've always been treated as subhuman second-class citizens, and have at times...
I like how all of the art is Warhammer Fantasy and Age of Sigmar, because they don't care about them in 40k.
Been subject to genocide. The only way a beastman can atone for the sin of their unnatural birth is through combat and service of the God Emperor. Given their low status in the human-centric Imperium, they are frequently used as front...
I thought the Imperium was all suffer not the alien or the mutant. That's true, but they're also extreme hypocrites, because these abhumans are human enough that they'll tolerate them because they're useful.
Frontline cannon fodder.
Right, so they'll also treat them like shit too. There's a rattling in a story that I listened to. It was one of the audiobooks. He was on a ship, and they would have him live like in the pipes and the rafters of the ship because they didn't want people to see him, because he was this short hobbit-like looking man, and that's disgusting to the Imperium. So they didn't want to keep him around, but he was useful, and he was great at fixing stuff, and he was small, so he could fit places other people couldn't.
This is, of course, a fairly innocuous, tongue-in-cheek allusion to commonly understood lore. Next, we have the word cunt scrawled on the crotch plate.
That's wild. I think a commissar might have issue with that.
And some tattoos are scarification on the face reading scum and Grok's cumbag.
Okay, that's... Oh, shit. I will say this. If a Imperium Guardswoman Beastman came up to me and she was like, "Hold my horns," I'd be like, "Yes, my queen."
As well as something that appears to be tick marks on the leg. Many people, I believe correctly, felt that the implication here is that beastmen women are not only used as less than enthusiastic military conscripts, but also as sex slaves who are...
Wait, how could you ever discern that? How could you ever discern that from that image? Why is she representative of all beast women that served the Imperium? That doesn't make any sense. How do you get that from that image? I mean, she might also have like a relationship with somebody, or she might sleep with somebody who's in charge of their troop. But that doesn't mean that all of them are. I've never heard of anything in the lore of beastmen being used as sexual slaves. Which is, by the way, I don't know why listen, doing sexual violence in media is very difficult to do right. And I don't think that 40k should run around doing the rape scene in every book. But to say that rape doesn't happen on Imperial Guard ships would be outrageous. Okay? Because there is no way a commissar doesn't take advantage of their position of power. They can shoot any guardsman they want because they exist outside of the rank structure.
Subject to rape, and that this artwork reflected some sort of consensual non-consent or degradation fetish. Now, rape is obviously a very sensitive real-world issue, and I understand that based on one's life experiences...
I'm sorry, why is an art piece with the phrase "cumbag" being thoroughly discussed in a deep dive YouTube video? Yeah, because they think this fictional race is being used as sex slave. I don't understand the Reddit argument there.
And proximity to the issue, allusions to rape in fiction are obviously going to elicit a very different response. I think my question for viewers would be, is this a theme or topic that is too out of bounds for Warhammer? After all, this is a world where most people...
I don't even think it's out of bounds for Warhammer. I think it's a little... Like, for that, it's like, I don't know. Like, if that beast woman is used as, like, a slave for that, that's bad. But it's not like... Yeah, it's just on her. It's not the other characters in it.
Live under a totalitarian theocracy. Civil rights are basically non-existent. Genocide occurs on a scale unimaginable, and war crimes are standard practice. I'm sorry, but rape definitely occurs in this universe, and it seems odd to draw the line here.
I can't imagine the untold horrors of living on a hive world where you work 14 hours a day and then sleep in a pipe and eat bone dust to survive, okay?
When themes like eugenics and ethnic cleansing are so integral to the setting. If the art in question featured full-on penetrative acts of abuse, I think those in favor of a ban would have a pretty clear-cut argument. However, this is very subtle, blink and you miss it.
I mean, it definitely just seems like, I don't know, maybe the Beast Woman is in a relationship with somebody that engages in consensual non-consent. Which is like I don't know why. I'm not gonna like. It just sounds like something that's engaged with. I don't.
Type shit. People aren't having these themes shoved in their face. It requires fairly active viewing to draw them out.
I wouldn't have even noticed that image, like that part of the image, if it wasn't pointed out to me.
I also think it's worth pointing out that r/imaginary Warhammer isn't an exclusively safe for work board. So it just seems silly that this would be the catalyst for a ban when it's posted alongside brutal violence and big titty waifus. Regardless,
yeah, that's another thing. Why is that too far, but then having all these big fat-titted waifu Tau is fine? Because, like, there's no way the Imperial Guard don't immediately act like horrible people to the Tau that they capture. Like, that's bananas.
A small but very vocal minority of people started mass reporting posts containing Moses' art, and began going off platform to search through the—
Dude, who are these 40K people that just can't handle a discussion about sexual violence? When did the 40K fandom become that soy? Okay? Like, what?
The rest of their catalog of work in search of anything unsavory that would justify a ban. And in fairness to the detractors, they definitely found some material most people would find to be objectionable. As it turns out, Mosa had created some artwork that could be considered lolicon. For the non-anime brain, that means suggestive.
Oh my god, this is so stupid. This is so stupid. This is just pearl clutching tourist of the fandom. Dude, the 40K had a huge blow up over the whatchamacallit. They had a huge blow up over the pandemic, and as a result of that, there's like all these new people into fandom that just don't get the vibe of it. Dude, everything comes back to the lolly. Dude, if an internet drama goes on long enough, it always comes back to the pedophile discussion. Always comes back to it. Right? This is why see, it's like I want people to enjoy my hobby, right? I like 40K, right? But it's just like it's such a double-edged sword of bringing people in, because there's always like a moment where people are like, "Whoa, that happens here?" No, he's not going to show it. I checked. 6 degrees of separation from Lolly. But it's just, not everything is for everyone, you know? So it's just like, if 40K is not for you, you don't need to like engage with it because you're like, meh, meh, meh. Yeah, I'm gonna take the claim of it being lolly with a grain of salt, especially since it's Reddit. And I think, okay, here's my thought. I think the Redditors were going out of their way to try and find something so that way they could deliberately enact social justice on something they argued was like a moral wrong, because they wanted to feel good about themselves. You see this a lot. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. But that's annoying. That's not surprising either. There are other games like 40K that are 40K and are better for tourism. Yeah, and the claims were already weak from what was there. Dude, like it's like the same people that would be pearl clutching about the art are the same people who would be like seething about like the religious, the anti-religious themes in like Trench Crusade, right? Where it's like, oh, I think Trench Crusade is too far because, which by the way, in Trench Crusade, there's no way there isn't sexual violence that happens in this setting. There's no way you got art like this. Like, this art is too violent for that to be it. Mosa did a really cool Yakub art. Right? But it's like all these like sinners stapled to a walking church. All right? But dude, fucking Trench Crusade looks based. I'm super hyped for it. Like, fuck. I don't think consent exists in this world. Dude, the miniatures are expensive on the Kickstarter. But like, fuck, this shit looks based. Super cool. Super excited for it. I like the vibes that it has. I like this like dark Christian fantasy thing. People being stapled to a walking church is a bit on the nose. Yeah, that's why it's cool. But I was gonna complain about a show I was watching, but I think I'll save it for another stream. Bosses and edgelords say it ain't so. God, the demon depictions are really cool too. Very stoked for this. Very stoked for this. It'll just be nice to have another grimdark thing to engage with. Okay. I started playing Blasphemous on my Steam Deck. Very good. All right. As a lapsed Catholic, I really enjoy that medium. I have now found out that that Chris and Beckett are now Sonic characters. That is all. This is you with a watermelon? Okay, I'll look at this. I'll look at this. Why is Ellen Jo hitting a watermelon with her head? Here, I'll show the Beckett Sonic. That's sick. That is so sick. I guess I would be an Echidna, huh? Right? If I was a Sonic character, I'd be an Echidna. Jesus. This is peak comedy. What did she think? I don't know. I don't know. Oh, God. You know, that guy might have had good or bad hair, but that was a good video covering the drama. I know I made fun of him for his haircut, but those were he had to take those licks. He had to take those licks. Nah, Diesel, you are Tails. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. All right. Well, it's late and I need to make sure people can sleep because yeah. I'm not the only one who's sick in the house. There's a bunch of other people. So, I'm going to head out. Stretch it out. All right, chat. I will see you soon.